Hey, what's up, guys? Got another video coming out for you. This is DENT Sports. My name is Bryson.
I'm Bennett.
Steve.
I'm Don.
And we are back at you with yet another video. We just wrapped up watching UFC 253? I believe it was. 253, Adesanya versus Costa. And overall, I didn't get to watch some of the card, but the fights that I did watch seemed to be a lot of build for not a whole lot of action, honestly. But
I overall wasn't that impressed with tonight. Think it could have been a lot better.
yeah, but styles make fights, and sometimes when you get certain styles that don't mesh very well, they can create sort of boring fights, I guess you would say. But I think that kind of really rang true in the main event because, you know, you're looking at this Costa guy and he's huge and constantly knocking people out and stuff, but he just basically stood there, you know, doing all this.
It's almost like he didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah, he just
like,
kind of
stand here and just
stood there and got kicked. Yep. And then, yeah.
Also felt the need to, you know, put his hands behind his back and do all this stuff.
Yeah, well, exactly. He knows 3 languages: English, and then his native language, and then talking crap. He's, you know, those are his 3 tongues on that one. But well, he basically went out there and looked like an idiot tonight. I mean, he stood there, got his leg kicked off, and, you know, did a whole bunch of, you know, fancy little movements and pretending like the dude he was fighting was nothing. And, well, didn't win a single round and got knocked out. So, good job. You look like a real champ out there.
I thought his best performance was, you know, coming in from the locker room to the ring. That was about his best performance he had all night.
Yeah, he may not have performed in the ring, but boy, he had that cup in the position he wanted it.
That thing got adjusted 8 times.
And the funny thing is, he did all that, and then he walked up to the person that pats him down and stuff, and the ref moved it again.
Let me check this
It's
out.
like, you know how long he took trying to get it where he wanted it?
Exactly.
You know, just to touch on another one of the fights, actually, this is one of the few that I actually enjoyed. I thought the Jan and Dominic Reyes fight was actually pretty decent.
Blachowicz?
Yeah.
I think that's how you say his
I
name.
don't know how to say his name, so I'm just not going to attempt it. But
Yeah.
that was actually a good fight.
In the last video, I said Blachowicz, which is not even close. I guess it's Blachowicz. I have no idea. Dad wasn't around to translate for us, so unfortunately we were kind of stuck. Usually we just ask him and he knows.
You know how it is.
But yeah, I was actually kind of surprised by that Jan fight, especially because, you know, again, looking at that one and how the one guy fought against John Jones, Reyes I'm referring to, I was expecting big things, but really it just was Dominic kind of standing there taking punishment from Jan there. I mean, just about everything Jan wanted to do, he was doing. And can I just say, too, that freaking imprint of the other dude's leg and his side was so nasty, especially at the end. It was just...
All red.
Ugh. And you could see, like...
But, you know, like, compared to the main event, there was actually some action in this fight.
Well, that's true. A little bit more, a little less standing around like, hey, you missed me. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like you branded him with that thing in his ribs.
Dude, for reals. And
And
there was like a couple of white parts in it, and I couldn't tell if those were welts or the part where his toenails were. But whatever it was, I was like, but you could see just how precise that guy was, though, because it was all in the same spot every single time. It's like even with the other guy moving around, he hit the right on the money every single time. So I was pretty impressed by that.
Nice grouping.
Yeah.
I think Jan's pretty serious. He's a good fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely, did everything you can ask. He definitely deserved the win tonight.
Yep.
The other guy, well, if he remembers tonight, then he can think back about what he needs to do in the next fight. But chances are he won't remember much. The ending where he was like, "Ugh," and then fell, that was pretty funny. It almost kind of reminded me in WWE when they like Rob Van Dam used to do this all the time, where he'd stick a chair in between some ropes and then they'd fling another guy's head into it, and instead of just like falling down there, they get their head out of there and fall backwards, but they take like a couple steps and then collapse. It reminded me of that so much.
Another fight, Hakeem and Zub. How the heck do you say it?
I think Zubaira. I have no idea.
Whatever it is, man, that Hakeem dude literally just acted like the dude was running the whole fight.
Oh yeah.
That was nice. To me, it's like, really? Come on, man, you won the fight at least. I mean, no reason to act like that, but let's just say I hope he loses his next one.
I don't think he made too many fans tonight. Let's put it that way.
No, but sometimes acting obnoxious gets you bigger fights and makes you watchable because people want to see you get beat. So
Yeah.
that's why they do that, because they know, hey, I keep talking crap, people want to watch it.
Yep.
Hey, Conor McGregor, perfect
It
example
is
of
a
that.
business, even though they're fighting. It's still a business.
Except for that guy's an idiot anyway.
So they do what they can to market themselves.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I only really was able to watch the two main card fights because the other ones, I had some other stuff going on at the time. I did watch a couple of the ones in the prelims, and they were decent, but for the most part, I just watched the two main event fights. But I did see bits and pieces of the women's fight on the main card, and seemed like they were slugging back and forth the whole time. So I really wish I would have checked that in. Looks like Viaria won. Don't know. Unfortunately, tonight's full of people that we don't know how to pronounce.
Alphabet soup.
Exactly. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I also did watch the Jake Matthews, Diego Sanchez fight, and Jake Matthews just looked like he was like 5 steps ahead the entire fight. And I mean, Diego, he pretty much went out there, took a beating, and then went home. I mean, that's essentially what happened in that one.
That's a good night.
Yeah.
That
Thanks.
seemed to be a common thread in a lot of these fights tonight.
But hey,
Heavy-handed.
they'll feel a little better when that check comes in the mail. So, yeah. So, with that being said, any final thoughts?
No, just like I said, the main event was entertaining in a certain way.
Yeah.
Just to see the hype up into it and then seeing the outcome on it.
Yeah.
Was pretty good of him just sitting there bleeding and with his pride right in his lap too.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. After all the garbage he talked.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, I think this Costa's probably a pretty good fighter. I mean, you get caught by somebody. I mean, it's lights out just about in any division, and you're dealing with the champ who's been around a while, and he's come across guys like this Costa before, so he knew kind of what to expect. And I just think that's why he's the champ, and he just proved it again. And I mean, right now you could probably put him in the conversation for pound best fighter in the UFC. He's got to be in the mix anyway, because he's taking people out left and right.
Yeah, he hasn't lost yet.
And
And Costa was undefeated too, and he took him out like he was nothing.
right,
It was
and
a
that's
clinic.
why I say. I mean, he's obviously a pretty stout champ, and I mean, someday somebody will catch up to him, but right now it doesn't look like
Yeah, there's not many that are on his level, to say the least.
I mean, UFC seems like every time you turn around, somebody's popping up that's got something good going on, and then then you always have your stalwarts that have been in the biz for a while, and are able to keep going and maybe hold belts longer than they should have them. But Adesanya doesn't look like he's slowing down at all. So whoever's coming to get that belt better be ready for a fight.
Either that or better have a cast for the leg on hand.
I mean, it's gonna be it's gonna bring a box lunch with you, mother boss, because it's gonna be a long time before quitting time.
Yeah. Well, it might not be depending on
How quickly he takes him out.
Yeah, exactly.
This fight and the last fight that Adesanya did, to me, were like the same. Like, mainly legs, not much punching. Seems like with Adesanya, the most fights I've seen from him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just think that he's going to do whatever gives him the best advantage, and with his diversity and kicking and striking different parts of the body with his legs, that's something a lot of people can't do. And so when you're that versatile, or you don't just have to use your arms and you got, kicks coming from every direction hitting all parts of the body, why wouldn't you use that?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't?
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah. Overall, I would say the fights that I watch, like I said before, the hype kind of preceded the actual action, because a lot of them ended up being kind of
One-sided.
at one point Don played the Nutcracker in the background just so we could get the right dance music going on while they partied around the ring together. But it was still fun to watch nonetheless, and especially the Costa and the Adesanya one, because they were both undefeated. I mean, I'm just like, boy, what's going to happen here? And you just kind of got the feeling that Israel was probably the better fighter, but with people like Costa, it's one shot and that's it. So you're constantly just kind of waiting to see, is he going to catch him? Is he going to catch him? And tonight, the answer was no. So, but, if he would have, I think Israel probably would have been the one, looking dazed up at the lights. So.
Yeah. No, I would agree. I mean, it's all circumstantial.
All you have to do is look at the guy.
It's all circumstantial.
Yeah, but and I always think too, like with the UFC, I mean, there's some guys that have a better chin than others, but for the most part, anybody can get caught, and there's probably not a guy in the UFC that if he catches somebody, couldn't knock him out if he hits him right. I don't care if he has an undefeated record or is not even a ranked opponent. If you catch somebody at that level, you have the potential to knock them out. So even some of these fighters that, going into it, you think, oh, they don't have a chance against this person. All it takes is one punch.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Or one punch followed by a bunch more. I mean, just look at that Derek Lewis fight from about a year ago when he was getting dominated the entire time, and then inside a minute to go in the final round, he caught the guy with a punch and it was over.
20 seconds.
Yeah, 20 seconds, exactly. And he was getting dominated the entire fight. So, but guys, that was our review for UFC 253. Like I said, not really a whole lot to talk about. At least from the fights that I watched, they were pretty just, run-of-the-mill fights. And I'm definitely excited to watch and see what is to come for the future of the two championship winners tonight. And definitely excited for next week's fights. So with that being said, guys, this has been DENT Sports, and we will see you guys in the next video.